This is a music review. It's the 2012 release by Morrison called Born to Sing, No Plan B. This is his 34th album. Wow. It was recorded in Belfast, his hometown, and described as containing 10 new original songs, although one, Close Enough for Jazz, did appear as an instrumental on his 1993 release, Too Long in Exile. It was recorded live in the studio and featured a six-piece band of musicians, Morrison's contributions, vocals, of course, piano, guitar, and alto saxophone. One of the themes of the album is to reflect on the current worldwide financial crisis. Morrison, not usually very outspoken, has felt the need to comment on what he perceives as the worldwide preoccupation with money and materialism, inequality, and the greed that has poisoned society. So he's really in my ballpark, and I love him anyway. This is his second recording for Blue Note Records, and the president made a comment about this album as being great, really incisive songwriting. It's a cool record. Well, no surprises there then. And so let's get on to the album now, and I'm going to do my usual trick. I'm going to go through it song by song, refer to the music, and if possible make some comment on the lyrics. So it kicks off then with Open the Door to Your Heart. A beautiful soul-style guitar puts you right in the mood with this smooth tenor saxophone coupled with piano laid out as the foundation for a snappy trumpet solo, very much Jet Baker style. And then the clarinet added by Chris White. It's full of Memphis feel. The shuffling horn chorus is a clincher, a spankingly classic opener, offering at 5.5 minutes. Morrison's vocals ensuring the even-tempered pace, and he adds the sing-along yodel to the outro. And lyrically, as mentioned earlier, it really focuses on heart fulfillment, on fulfilling your heart, not your belly. Materialism is a false dawn. Follow your heart. Crying into your beer is a waste of effort and a waste of time. Focus on getting joy from using your ears and your eyes. I think it's a magical message. So to track 2 then, Going Down to Monte Carlo. The Hammond organ and piano lay the foundation for this soft-toned ballad. Morrison's vocals, so serene, delivering his storyline, and you just got to close your eyes and let this one float over you, listening to those vocals, and let the foot gently tap. There's another exquisite trumpet solo, muted, and the upright bass leaps out at you. Pseudo jazz this certainly isn't. The scat style singing by Van as we waltz into the upright bass solo with horns laid back in the mix is just so exquisite, and it then enables the clarinet to flourish. This is really laid back, man. Its production mix enables each instrument to have its say. It's an 8-minute gem. And lyrically, it's a message about clearing your head of toxic people, and references Jean-Paul Sartre. The song describes a retreat to Monte Carlo to clear your head, or as the lyric says, shower. Get my head showered. Got to find some release, and that just about sums it all up. Get away from the pettiness, greed, and materialism. So to track 3 then, Born to Sing. the title track, a strolling rhythm and blues arrangements here, very 50s style I thought, with the sax very much back in the mix, and you get the feeling you're in the bar and Fats Domino's playing, and it's a rebel rouser. Or is it Dexy's Midnight Runners? Well, actually no, it's Van Morrison, and there's a lovely muted trombone combination, and the clarinet also competes for your taste. Van Morrison's singing is gripping and gutsy, epitomising the location, the bar, the time, the 50s, and of course the audience. Lyrically, it reflects on the life of a singer. The glamorous ride at the beginning, which doesn't tell the full story. It isn't all of it. In fact, times are hard frequently, but the feelings performing are priceless, as the depth of emotions become a realisation. It's a wonderful piece of music. So to track 5 then, End of the Rainbow. It's a soul-drenched song, that's for sure. The double bass and piano glides us in, and then the gentle tempo with Van's vocals arrive, and you know it's a bit of a weepy about how we've lost our way. The horns way back in the midst, and then the trombone hauntingly serenades us to the sax, another gem amongst gems, and it moulds all the instrumentation together like a melting pot of quality. Lyrically, it's a political statement about the demise of capitalism, about the toil, about the methods, the eroding methods for the worker, about corporate control that's taking over. Well, that's my take on it anyway. Track 6 is close enough for jazz, and as the title suggests, it's got an instrumental flavour. Certainly at the intro, we don't hear any vocals at all. As an old tune, it was a lyrical song, and there's some tasty guitar which gives way to the piano, and then finally Morrison steps in with that swing sound. Lyrically, an up-tempo view is recommended to stay positive, and linking this with the state people feel when listening to jazz. Keep yourself cool and don't complicate things. Track 7's Mystic of the East. Spiritual fare here, but I don't think it's Ireland, more Southeast Asia, but I'm not totally sure. Crooning horns and stylistic organ oozes the mood, and then add in a touch of clarinet and a pinch of trombone, and you get the gist of this delectable piece. Lyrically, I think Van's telling us a tale of mysticism not coming to fruition, not what we suggested, and it leads to a misplaced desire. Well, that's my take anyway. So to track 8 then, Retreated View. A slow spiritual message again from Van Morrison. The beat is, well, Van's signature tune really. Some stylish lead guitar meshed with horns, subdued to suit rhythm, and then the trumpet and tenor exchanging pleasantries, and then they mould together beautifully. The warm timbre of the trombone is particularly special here, and adds some spiralling piano. What more can you ask for? It's iconic Morrison, and to cop it all off, there's a great alto sax solo to take us through the outro. Lyrically, I think it's all about giving yourself spiritual time to reflect and give you learning and give you a strength of purpose for a new vision. Up next is If in Money We Trust, a brooding jazz blues song, and it's a highlight. VM's vocals hit the tenor here. It owes a touch to Davis, I thought, and there's a heavily influenced Coltrane solo thrown in for good measure, and Another reference, Hancock-style piano. Well, he really does love his jazz, doesn't he? 3 legends in one sentence. Is that good enough for you? And it's a sumptuous 8 minutes. The delicacy of the percussion in the rhythm is to be admired, as is the double bass at the outro. Lyrically, well, this is a slight dig by Van about the issue of money and how obsessed we are with it. And also a tinker with organised religion, and the question, well, what if God can't be found? A bit of tongue-in-cheek about that, but at least that's suggesting that you should take on board these things. Track 10's Pagan Heart. It's a stunning blues, heavily influenced by John Lee Hooker and Robbie Johnson. Van snarls at the Delta sound, coupled with the dark side of religious belief. I love the delicate use of the horns on this track as the blues beat deftly delivers. Lyrically, well, it has a reference to the iconic Crossroads written by Johnson and the notion of being a pagan, acknowledging different religions, different beliefs. The closing track is Educating Archie. Well, this is R&B old school, I guess. Real meat and potatoes for Van, but I never get sick of it. The piano mixing funkiness with jazz rolls and the Hammond organ, such a beautiful sound. There's a nice picking jazz guitar solo thrown in here as well. Lyrically, well, it continues his rant on politics. Here Van pulls no punches, laying out how the system has basically abused you, conned you, and how the media has made you all media junkies. It's devoid of individuality these days, and that you are the subjects to the crass way that control is exerted by the ruling elites. And this unfortunately reflects on your inability to think for yourself. It's very Orwellian, I thought, and quite striking for Van to be so politically in your face. What have we got then? Well, we've got a wonderful album, 10 songs that basically take us through the full repertoire of Van Morrison's musical career. We've got jazz, we've got rhythm and blues, we've got blues, we've got string arrangements, we've got meditative orchestral songs. It's absolutely fantastic, this album, and I really do suggest that even if you are a Morrison fan, that you really do check this one out. It's called Born to Sing, No Plan B, and it was released in 2012.